I'm Gareth Kane and welcome to Ask Gareth. The idea here, as always, is very simple. You ask me questions about corporate sustainability, corporate social responsibility, green business related topics. I do my best to answer them. And this time, instead of answering a single viewer's question, I'm going to consider one which I have been asked many times in the last few months. It's become a real trend. And that is, how do we make sure that the true benefits of sustainability are factored into investment decisions and not ignored? And, that's crucially important because we want to make sure when investments are made, particularly long-term investments, that we are getting really good sustainability options, but it's also very difficult. And the reason why, I think, is because there are three types of investment you can make. The first are broadly compliance investments, the ones that keep you within the law. So it may be investments in environmental protection, it may be investments in health and safety, but they're the ones that are non-negotiable because it's the price of doing business. The second type are the classic invest to save type investments. So you may invest in a new boiler, a new compressed air system, and you hope that by the energy savings that investment make, for example, will give you a return investment and pay back the cost of the investment over anywhere between 1 and 3 years usually. So it can be quite short term, you expect those investments to be made. The third type are the ones which look at how your business is projected out into the marketplace. So advertising, branding, new offices, all that sort of outward-looking stuff to attract more business in. And this is very difficult to measure the return you get on that because it's very hard to judge exactly whether a particular advert works, for example, and how much it will work by. The old cliche about only 50% of advertising works, but nobody knows which 50%. Now, the problem with sustainability type investments is they can straddle two and sometimes all three of those stools. And that makes it very difficult because people tend to get into the mindset that if an investment will save money, then it should it should stand up on its own 2 feet in terms of return on investment, but it's factoring out all those other business benefits. I know BT did some years ago now, where they reckoned sustainability was saving them £100 million a year in terms of costs, but it had helped them bring in £1.9 billion worth of new business. So the potential prize of doing sustainability is much bigger than the cost savings, 19 times as much in that case. But again, it was very hard to say whether that 1.9 billion was all down to sustainability or whether sustainability just helped give it that extra push. It's very hard to quantify. So how do we unravel this and make sure that we're making the best decisions? Well, three things. First of all, make sure you have a dedicated budget for sustainability. And I often say, no budget, no commitment. And within that budget, you shouldn't be worrying about return on investment. The budget should be used to meet sustainability goals, first and foremost. So you decide how best to spend it every year in order to advance those goals. Marks & Spencer's, Sir Stuart Rose, when he was in charge of Marks & Spencer's, gave the Plan A team, the sustainability team, £200 million budget to deliver Plan A. They actually turned out to make a return investment. They made some profit out of Plan A, but they weren't expecting to because Sir Stuart Rose was very conscious that he needed to protect the position of the branding position of Marks & Spencer's as the trusted retailer on the British High Street. So that came first and foremost rather than any energy savings. And they actually play down some of those savings because they don't want to be seen to have done it for penny pinching. They want to be seen to be doing the right thing. And that was their intention. The second thing I would say is once you have that budget is to protect it. So if a project is going to save lots of carbon and save lots of money comes along, then try and get it funded through the mainstream budget and mainstream investment appraisal first. And that means that you don't end up spending, you get more bang for your buck in terms of your sustainability projects. Those other projects are stuff the business should be doing anyway. Now, if it fails in return investment, then you can reconsider it for your sustainability budget. And some companies actually have a formal procedure for doing that. You know, that everything gets considered first. Of, is this just a good decision to make on business grounds alone, purely financial grounds? And if not, let's consider it against the sustainability goals and see if it stacks up there. So it's sort of a two-tier system. Now, the third thing is, in that mainstream decision-making process, you should make sure that the system is open to all costs and the wider costs relating to sustainability. So, for example, I have found several large organisations where any variable cost relating to carbon emissions isn't factored into the decision-making process. It's held in a separate sort of overhead type account. What you want to do is a sort of type of total cost accounting and break any of those overheads down and portion them to different options. And what you'll find then is that the mainstream budget starts to favour low carbon options, and you get that sort of business as usual changing to the low carbon options being business as usual. And then, of course, you still have that dedicated sustainability budget for the stuff that still doesn't stack up under return on investment. So those are 3 ideas to whet your appetite. Quite challenging in a way. None of them are simple solutions. The triple bottom line is your investment appraisal system must be able to handle the multiple benefits of sustainability. If it doesn't, change the system. Okay, I hope that was of interest, not answering a specific person's question this time, but lots of individual questions, some from very large corporations. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you got a better way of doing this? If so, put it all in the comments below the video. I will answer every single one I receive, wherever I receive it, and we put this on many different platforms. If you would like more of this kind of advice, then make sure you go to www.terrainfirma.co.uk and sign up to the Low Carbon Agenda. That's my monthly email newsletter where you'll get a whole load of stuff and a notification of every future edition of Ask Gareth. If you have a question for us, please do send it in. We rely on a steady stream of killer questions to answer here. And don't forget that whether you're making incremental improvements to the environmental performance of your organisation or facilitating massive step changes towards sustainability, it all counts. You're making the world a better place, and you should be proud of that. Till next time, goodbye.